Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another deck tech video, and just a heads up, a lot of the decks in the coming days are viewer requests. I've got a whole long list right here on this piece of paper from folks like you that wanted to see some deck techs, and normally it'd take 1 to 2 weeks, but man, there's so many I don't want to make folks wait. So, gonna get straight into these ones, and we're gonna start off with the Sonic viewer request video. I made this one a little bit budgety, so $240.40, and I don't even think I clicked the use cheapest versions on here. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And if you want to see your deck get made into a deck tech, if you want to see a commander made, whether it be Baba Lysaga or Deadpool or Aowen or Angus McKenzie or Dakin Darkblade, just drop it in the comments down below, either on a short or on here. There's also a link where you can fill out a form. I would say use the comments more because I get those notifications faster and I can check them more easily. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog. He's a 2/4 for 1 generic and then blue, red, and white. He has haste and he has gotta go fast, which is whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with flash or haste. And then whenever a creature you control with flash or haste is dealt damage, create a tapped treasure token. So, we are going to try to do some fun things here where we are going to try to pump up our stuff with flash and haste. And let's see how we get this done, shall we? So we have 17 creatures in here. We have a wide range of creatures. Some of our new ones are Aang Swift Savior, who has flash, flying, and when he enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature or spell, and then you can waterbend 8, which is kind of like Convoke and Improvise. You can tap your artifacts or your creatures to pay for it, and he turns into Aang and La. Ocean's Fury, which is reach, trample, and when Aang and La attack, put a 1/1 counter on each tapped creature you control. We have Absent Falconer. He has Outlast, which is you can pay the 1, tap it, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Outlast only is a sorcery. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter has flying. So then, with Sonic, when he attacks, all of your stuff with flash or haste gets the counter. Absent Falconer will give them all flying. Academy Manufacturer, because we are going to be making a bunch of treasures in this deck, and so we've got to be able to make foods and clues too, because if we're not doing obnoxious things, then what is the point? We've got Amy Rose in here, which is haste, and whenever she attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to her. Then up to 1 other target attacking creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is Amy Rose's power. And we do have some equipment in this deck, trying to fit as many of the Sonic cards as I could justify putting in here. We have Archangel Avacyn, which is flash, flying, vigilance. She's a 4/4 for 5. When Archangel Avacyn enters, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. And whenever a non-angel creature you control dies, flip her. And she turns into Avacyn the Purifier after she's gone a little nutty from Emrakul's Corruption, which is flying, and when this creature transforms into Avacyn, it deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. Then we have Captain Lanneray Storm, haste. Whenever they attack, create a treasure token. You can sack a treasure token to give it +1/+0. Then we have Enduring Curiosity. Whenever one of your creatures deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. When it dies, it comes back as an enchantment, and of course it has flash. Then we have Errant in Giada. Errant in Giada is flash, flying. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may play spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. So we do have quite a few flying creatures in here, so that helps out along with the flash. Then we have Goldspan Dragon. He has flying and haste, and whenever he attacks or becomes the target of a spell or ability, you create a treasure, and your treasures have tap to add 2 mana. Tap sacrifice, add 2 mana. Jeskai Shrinekeeper, it's a little dragon. It has flying and haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and draw a card. We have Kilo, Apogee Mind. Whenever he becomes tapped, proliferate. He is also a haste creature. Then we have Knuckles, Double Strike, Trample, Haste. 2/4 for 4. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. So not only will you get to create treasure tokens for your creatures getting damaged, but also whenever one or more of your creatures deal combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 30 or more artifacts, you win the game. Good luck. This is like a mini quest. This is like a fun little low bracket mini quest for you. We have Mary, Esquire of Rohan. He's a 2/2 for 2 haste, and when he has first strike as long as he's equipped. And whenever you attack with Mary and another legendary creature, draw a card. We got Professional Facebreaker, which has Menache, and whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a tap treasure token. And then you can sack a treasure, exile the top card of your library, and then you can play that card this turn. And then we have Prompto Argentum. From one of the Final Fantasy games. Not sure which one. He's a 2/2 for 2. He has haste and self-shot. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, create a treasure token. We have Ty Lee, Chi Blocker, which is Flash, Prowess, and when Ty Lee enters, tap up to 1 target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Ty Lee. It's a nice little lockdown card that can get stronger with the effects from your Sonic. Then we have a Winged Hive Tyrant. This is a Tyrannid, and it is a 4/4 for 5 with flying and haste and the will of the hive mind. Other creatures you control with counters on them have flying and haste. Our sorcerers, we have Damning Verdict. Destroy all creatures with no counters on them. We have Earthquake. So what you're going to do is you can cast this for 1. Deal 1 damage to each of your creatures. Get a bunch of tap treasure tokens. We have Fire Lake Confluence, Ping Your Dudes, 4th Aerlingus, so you can put a whole bunch of knights into play with haste, Ponder to let you draw some cards, Pyroclasm to do 2 damage to each thing, so if they've gotten pumped, just deal 2. We have Tempt with Vengeance, which is create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste. Each opponent may create X elemental creature tokens with haste for each one who does, then you get to do it again. Tezzeret's Gambit, Proliferate, draw 2 cards, and Tremor. Deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Instants, we got Big Score. Discard a card, draw 2, create a treasure. Or create 2 treasures. We have Cinderclasm. It deals 1, unless you kick it, then it deals 2. Fire Magic. You can do 1, 2, or 3, depending on the cost. We have Swords and Path. Vice versa there. Restoration Magic to protect. This is really good because if you play things like Unbreakable Formation and Restoration Magic, you can ping everybody with your stuff to get the treasures while simultaneously making your stuff indestructible, so that way you don't lose them. Then we have Shake the Foundations, dealing 1 damage, draw a card, Unexpected Windfall, discard a card, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasures. Essentially the exact same card, just 1 more red pip. Starstorm, X damage to each creature. Artifacts, we got Caltrop, so whenever a creature attacks, deal 1 damage to it. We have Chromatic Lantern, since we are running a 3-color deck, and it is in budget, so we're not going to have a lot of the high-cost mana. We have Diamond Pickaxe to get us some treasure tokens. We have Gold Vein Pickaxe to get us some treasure tokens. Hammer of Perforos to give our stuff haste. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots also gives us some haste and some protection. Then we have Ring of Evos Isle, which is equipped creature... Equip for 1 at the beginning of your upkeep. Put a 1/1 counter on equipped creature if it's blue. Equipped creature gains hexproof until end of turn if you pay 2. Ring of 3 Wishes. It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. I may have added a bunch of rings in here because it's Sonic, okay? Kill me here. With 3 wish counters on it, you can pay 5, tap it, remove a wish counter, search your library for a card, put that into your hand, then shuffle your library, so it is a tutor card. Ring of Thune, this is for white creatures. They have Vigilance, and they get a 1/1 counter on it if they're white during the upkeep. Then Ring of Vulcus gets haste at the beginning of your upkeep. Put a 1/1 counter on it if it's red. Soul Ring is also in here, as is the Fire Crystal. Then for our enchantments, we are running Super State, because why not? We have Assemble the Legion, so at the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion, then you create a number of 1/1 red and white soldier tokens with haste. For each muster counter, we have Curiosity and Ophidian Eye in here to help us get some cards off of damage. Frostcliff's Siege, so whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. You can also give your creatures +1/+0 in haste. We have Ghostly Person and Propaganda to attack you. Reconnaissance, so you can get the attack trigger off of your Sonic and then remove him from combat. We have Kratos Rage, which is Pyrohemia. So you can pay 1 to deal 1 damage to each of your things. We have Mass Hysteria, all your creatures have haste. We have Outlaws Merriment. We have Windcrag Siege. And Rising of the Day. For our lands, pretty budgety. We're running 18 basics. A bunch of check lands, a bunch of bounce lands. The pain lands are in here. Like I said, the check lands, the scry comes into play, tap lands. And we are running 2 little budget fetches, as well as Nivik's Area of the Firemind, which is exile the top card of your library. Till your next turn, you may cast that card if it's an instant or sorcery. Well, let me know how I did. I think this is a pretty acceptable budgety deck, and of course you can always make it more or less budget depending on how you want it. Pretty much I take these ideas, and unless they're super specific, I kind of run with it, and I try to aim more towards something that's working class affordable. I myself am working class, and the only reason I am able to make some higher budget decks is because I've been playing the game for a long time. But as always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon. Again, I hope you really like this deck. If you want to see a commander made into a deck, drop it in the comments down below. Doesn't even matter if it's a commander I've done before, I will do it again. But let me know, and you know what? Have a wonderful day.